just, we'll be cool. I had to learn it the hard way. That happened like 10 years ago. I still have people coming up to me going, what's up, fat key? I'm like, shut up. Don't call me that. Okay. So now, would you guys do me a favor? Could you suspend your disbelief, do you think, for an hour and a half? Do you think you could, well, let me say it like this. Have you ever watched a movie that you liked? Any time in your life, you watched a movie and you liked it? Okay, so congratulations. You suspended your disbelief for now, because you know that ain't real. Even though it's based on a true story or Hollywooded up. But I know after been doing this for about 25, 30 years that it's hard to suspend our disbelief. So I'm going to ask you, could you suspend your disbelief for 2 minutes in here? Could you guys do that? 2 minutes? Okay, so here's the 2-minute rule. That when you hear that voice on the inside, because I'm going to say some stuff today, and you're going to go, that's crazy talk, Andrew. That's impossible. That ain't going to work. When you hear that you would say, okay, it's impossible, but if it were possible, how would I do it? How would I do it? And would you guys just write that down, that question down? How would I do it? Just right there on the front of your book, how would I do it? How would I do it? It's anywhere on the front of that book, how would I do it? Because we're going to rely on that question for the next 2 days. How would I do it? How would I do it? Now I'm going to ask you, could you guys agree to do that for 2 minutes? When you hear that resistance, now I'm going to be like the airline attendant and I'm going to ask for a verbal yes, like when you're sitting in the exit row. So could I get a verbal yes from everybody? Could you do it? Everybody agrees to do it? Okay, because I'm going to hold you guys to that, because what's going to happen is I'm going to get pushback. Because I'm going to say some stuff and you're going to be like, we can't do that, or we have to do this, or that's impossible. And then I'll say, okay, I get that. But if it were possible, how would I do it? And the reason I ask this is because did you know that the human brain has to answer a question? Did you guys know that? Now, it doesn't have to come out of your mouth, but if you ask a question, your mind will go to work because you're a genius. Did you know that? Every person is a genius. You know it on the inside, maybe not consciously, but your brain knows it. So if you ask your brain a question, it's going to go to work and find that answer. Now, you want to do an experiment, see if I'm right? Let's do an experiment. No matter what I ask next, do not recall the information. Whatever it is, do not think of the answer. Who is the President of the United States? Don't think of that. And do not think of what is 2 plus 2. Don't think of that answer. Whatever you do not recall that information. So, because I know that and how the brain works, we learn this from neuroscience. If you ask a bad question, what are you going to get? A bad answer. Asking you shall receive, right? If you ask a good question, you're going to get a good answer. And if you ask a better question, you should get you can shout it out when you know, it's all right. A better answer. So I want to ask myself a better question. And a better question, instead of saying, I can't do that, or we have to do that, or that's impossible, what happens is your brain will shut down and go, yep, you're a genius, it's impossible. But if you say, how would we do it? It gives your brain permission to go look for the information. Now, this is how the brain works. In the last decade, we found out with MRI and brain imaging and